Kylie Mastillo with us here on the John Mendola Show, North Pocono. So Kylie, let's talk about your sports that you do at North Pocono.
I play basketball and softball.
So what
I
about your basketball game? Take us through. Are you something you love? You work at it? You do it to stay in shape?
I originally started to do it to stay in shape, but then with the coach I have, I started to like it more. Not as much as I like softball, but I started to just like it more than I did originally.
And how about softball? Is that something that you've done for a long time? And where did that come from? Anybody in the family, or is it just something you tried out?
My brothers played growing up, so I kind of just followed in their path and wanted to try it. So I played when I was younger, and
Let's talk about your relationship with your brothers. Are they sports nuts? You look up to them? Were they trying to say, hey, you can't do it as good as me, and it pushed you a little bit? Or?
so my oldest brother's a D1 athlete, so he kind of pushes me to not really live up to what he does, but compete with him in a way.
Sure.
My middle brother played baseball, but didn't like it as much as my oldest did. But
Let's talk about the studies for you. Is that something that you enjoy, or like a typical kid, like I got a test tomorrow? Every kid you run into could be a little different. Are you, is it something, there's late nights and study?
Yeah, there's times where I don't want to do things, but being a student athlete, I have to get them done to play. I want to do forensic science, some type of forensic science when I graduate. So.
You lost your pitcher from last year.
Yes.
It was 14-1. Let's talk about pitcher or pitchers this year that you think are going to step up on your team.
Well, our pitchers are young right now. They're sophomores. It's Ellis Alec and Ellie Ambrosikia. But I think they could handle it. It'll take a little growing, getting used to varsity level pitching, but I think they could do it.
Let's talk about your defense, whether it's the infield or outfield, maybe a couple solid players that you think will be able to make some defensive stops for you.
Our defense is pretty strong. Like, we have Ainsley in the outfield, which she could keep our center field. She keeps it pretty strong out there. Our infield's just pretty solid. It's mostly just varsity players that have played throughout the years. So,
Coach had mentioned, we got to get the bats going a little bit this year. How about some things that you try to work on to make sure that you're good at the plate? Some people will, go to a cage. Other people will, do some different things. So what's some of the things that you work on to try to stay solid there?
I try and hit multiple times a week, get in the cage with my hitting coach. At the plate, mindset is just constantly contact. Try and make contact with the ball, put it somewhere.
Let's talk about the league and the schedule that you have. Obviously, the teams in the Lackawanna League and the bigger schools are always pretty good. So I'm sure day in and day out, you're going to be challenged.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge this year. I mean, considering we moved down a division. So we've played Abington, we've played West, we've played some of those schools, but they're tough. They're going to be tough going through them twice and trying to stay with them. So.
All right. Well, we hope you have a good season.
Thank you.